And Sean wins the gold star so far this morning, so thank you very much, Sean. Okay, now I'm going to move to our final speaker, last but no means least, Siobhan Maher. Siobhan is a member of the North Dublin Regional Drugs and Alcohol Task Force, but importantly is coordinating a national, very innovative initiative called Drive, supporting families and communities who are suffering some harm related to drugs. Siobhan, you're very welcome.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everybody. It's really great to be here. I am going to start by giving you just an idea of how drug-related intimidation is manifesting itself across the country. It is a little bit of doom and gloom, but I do promise that I will be able to have some suggestions when I talk about the Drive project. So what we're hearing across the country, we hear that family members are impacted by drug-related intimidation in different ways. We hear of the young mother living in the Midlands who her family has been intimidated for €20,000 because her daughter built up a drug debt. That woman is living with a brain tumour and drug dealers are coming to her home threatening to cut her throat. We hear of the young father, his teenage son is in debt of €15,000, has been told if he didn't pay the drug debt that he had to go to Spain to pay off the drug debt. Sean spoke about how young people are being coerced into criminal activity. Young people, it's been made look attractive for them. Young people minding drugs, watching drugs, holding firearms. We hear this through communities, cities, towns and villages all across the country. Again, as I said, I don't want to be all doom and gloom because I do have some good news. So the Drive project, Drive is a national interagency project. Drive stands for Drug-Related Intimidation and Violence Engagement. And it's, as I said, it's an interagency project, and that is the key word. It's interagency. It's about working in collaboration. It's about working together. It was developed to respond effectively to drug-related intimidation and violence throughout the country. Drive model itself consists of 6 pillars, and I won't elaborate too much on this because I know there was some information that has been passed on to you, some extra reading. So the 6 pillars are capacity building and awareness, data collection and analysis, information sharing, community involvement, law enforcement, legislation and systemic change. And each of these pillars are as important as each other. So with 1 or 2, we wouldn't get the desired outcome that we want. So we have to be working on all 6. This is a brief look at the national communication structure. You can see there in the middle, Drive is overseen by the Drive Oversight Committee. The host task force for Drive project is North Dublin Regional Drug and Alcohol Task Force. You can see there the link there to Task Force Coordinator, who I'm employed by. Then the links to the liaison network, which I'll talk about now in 2 minutes. I'll make it really clear. I know that might look a little bit confusing, but I'll explain a little bit better now in a sec. But you can see clearly the communication structures go each way and right up to the National Oversight Committee for the National Drug Strategy. So the community structures. There's 24 drug and alcohol task forces throughout the country. Every task force was invited to nominate a Drive liaison. At the moment we have 19 out of 24 Drive liaisons named. Them liaisons are part of the Drive liaison network, and being part of the network means that they can work in collaboration, and we can share information, we can share what's working in each part of the country. Before Christmas we did a Drive roadshow to speak to all of the drug and alcohol task forces to give them the information on the project, and it became really clear that there was some really great stuff happening to support families and communities throughout the country, in some parts, not all. So the liaison network is a place where we can work together and share the learning as well. The drive liaison person will also be supporting the setup of a drive interagency group in each task force area. And the drive interagency group will consist of members from representatives from drug and alcohol services, family support services, youth services, schools, sports clubs, and Garda Síochána. The nominated inspector will be there. I know it hasn't been mentioned. I'll really briefly talk about the drug-related intimidation reporting programme. In each drug and alcohol task force area of the country, there's a nominated drug-related intimidation inspector that will work really closely with the drive liaison. So yeah, that's the drive interagency group. There's one in every task force area. You can see here on the map where there is a drive liaison, there is the nominated inspector and the nominated drug-related intimidation inspector working closely with them to support family members that are impacted by drug-related intimidation. Drive training, it's a train the trainer piece. Once the drive liaison has received the trainer piece, they will disseminate that training into their task force area. So that will be their responsibility. Part of the training will be information on the drug-related intimidation reporting programme, how that works, trauma-informed care, risk management, and referral options. And the training will be available to all community partners. When I say that, I mean drug and alcohol services, family support services, youth services, again, schools, sports clubs. To anybody that will come in contact with a person that's experiencing drug-related intimidation. It could even be the credit union staff. And I'm not saying that they're going to be able to do a piece of work with that person, but they will have the information to be able to pass on. So if you can look at it this way, the country will be awash with people that have information so they can direct people and victims of drug-related intimidation to get the supports and the help that they need.
Just less than a minute, Siobhan, please.
Thanks, Paul. Challenges that we have come up against when we're doing the Drive Roadshow. Some of the challenges were inconsistent approach and messaging across the country. Not everybody was doing the same thing. There were high levels of fear in communities. There was stigma and trust issues within communities, and there was issues with achieving widespread dissemination. And I'm skipping through that really quick because I want to get on to the recommendations from the Drive team. Please. So as with so many new projects, at the moment, Drive has been given a short-term funding, and this will only last for about a year or so. And Drive drug-related intimidation is not going anywhere. So if the government want to address the issue, it will have to be funded long-term.
I have to ask you to finish up, Siobhan. Just, I
will finish with one sentence for all drug and alcohol task forces to be resourced because they are the main mechanism to implement the Drive project.
Thank you, Siobhan.
Thank you.